Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. This is Robert with True Crime Unraveled. How you guys doing on this Sunday night? It's like really cold here in Kansas. What I want to talk about tonight is I've been researching most of the day today about serial killers in Idaho because I wanted to see if there was a serial killer that was active there in Idaho around the time of the Moscow killings. Now, in this research, I came across something that made me go WTF. And it's just weird that they are portraying him this way. Right there, serial killers operating in Idaho in 2022, and they have Brian Koberger's picture amongst the serial killers that were operating in 2022 in Idaho. That is just totally stupid. We have no inkling that this guy was ever a serial killer. So I don't know why they decided to put him as a serial killer. He hasn't even been to trial yet. So I don't know what MSN, the Yahoo search is thinking. But yes, they have Brian down as a serial killer, and they have his picture scattered amongst all the notorious serial killers in the history of the United States. Uh, Aileen Wuornos, Ted Bundy, Gary Ridgway. Like, he hasn't even been convicted yet. He hasn't been to trial yet. So why are you going to put him down as a serial killer when he hasn't even been to trial yet? It's innocent until proven guilty. And for everyone that has been watching the ASAP Rocky trial, he was sentenced to life in prison. And Rihanna was all upset about it, that her boyfriend is going to prison for life. I do not know if it's life without parole or life with parole. I will find out and let everyone know. And Megan Boswell as well. She was sentenced to 51 years. That was the recommendation by the jury, that she receives 51 years in prison. So she's 20 now. She wouldn't be able to get out till she's 65. But at any time, the judge can can take that suggestion by the jury and make his own ruling, and sentence her to life in prison without the possibility of parole. That's completely up to the judge if he takes the suggestion by the jury. But yeah, that's also crazy that they have Brian Koberger listed among serial killers there in Idaho when he hasn't even been to trial yet. Remember, it's innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around, not like Nancy Grace does it. And Nancy Grace mentioned like 4 or 5 times the other night that the knife sheath was found under Maddie's body, under Maddie's body, under Maddie's body. She said that like 4 or 5 times throughout her entire show. And I just have to say that Brett Payne would have he wouldn't have found the knife sheath laying at the right side of the bed, right side of her body, if it was under her, because he states in that probable cause affidavit or probable crap affidavit, whichever you want to call it. Yeah, he states walking into the third floor room and seeing the knife sheath laying on the right side. So how could it be under her if it was seen by Brett Payne laying on the right side of of Maddie Mogan. Now he doesn't say if we're on the right side of that. He doesn't say if it's up by her body or if it's down near the foot of the bed. All he says was it was laying on her right side, not under her body, Nancy Grace, because she made that statement numerous times. I mean, I lost count after four that she was stating it was under Maddie's body. And there was another attorney on there. I really gave him props because he was actually standing up to Nancy, about the DNA and everything else. And Nancy Grace got mad and wanted another expert to side with her and explain to, I think his name was Tabe, explained to Tabe that he was wrong and she was right. Why are people still investing interest in Nancy Grace? Why are people still watching Nancy Grace? I mean, it just don't make no sense. She sensationalizes everything that she does. Why are still people having stock in what she says? And I mean, just like Howard Bloom, why are people still having stock in what Howard Bloom has to say? He's no expert. He's a fiction writer. I repeat, a fiction writer. The only reason why he got most of his information was from the Gonzalez's and a few other places. So, why does Nancy Grace tout him as an expert? Why does Megyn Kelly tout him as an expert? He's no expert. But it just it's crazy. Now, when one true crime case ends, there's going to be another true crime case to talk about. True crime isn't going anywhere. There's always going to be a true crime case to talk about. And I would like to know, where does Melissa Koberger fit into all this? I would really like to know that, because out of everyone in the family, she was the only one that didn't have her stuff on private. She may have her stuff on private now, but in the beginning, she was the only one that didn't have her information on private. So I would really like to know why she didn't have her stuff on private when everyone else in the family did. Now she could have it like that now, and her and his other sister. I mean, they lost jobs over all this because of what their brother was accused of. They lost jobs, and I still feel sorry for his parents. Their house got destroyed in a pre-dawn raid. I mean, I thought I saw raids before, but this one was like they were going in and trying to find a drug dealer or a drug lord. I mean, of there's no amount to ever bring back Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan. I mean, there's not. I mean, will they get justice? Yeah, but will it be the right justice? And what I mean by the right justice, will it be the right person that gets convicted? Because I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff in this case. I mean, a lot of it's messed up. It really is. It really is messed up. But are we seeing transparency when it comes to this case? No, we're not. We're not seeing transparency at all. And what I mean by transparency, how the investigation is done. I mean, yes, I do understand they have to seal and redact everything for for the trial in August, but it just feels like they're trying to hide something. Look at Jennings. They they sealed and redacted her affidavit, which was S1. Now, what was her affidavit? And they said it had private information in it. Whose private information did it have in it? And that last hearing, I could have swore I saw Dylan's attorney setting in that hearing. Right behind the defense or the prosecution actually. I could have swore that was Dylan's attorney sitting there. I mean, if that's the case, if that was her attorney, then is she going to testify after getting her credibility severely knocked? Is she going to testify? I mean, I thought it was breathtaking that for the Evelyn Boswell case, which was the little 15-month-old that was murdered by her mother. And don't get me started on Megan Boswell. I mean, she thought this. She convinced this guy Ethan Perry that he was the father of Evelyn, and she was basically a spider weaving her web of deceit to see who she could bring into that web, and she brought a lot of people in. She deceived and lied to a lot of people. You know, she lied on her mom. Yeah, she lied on her mom, saying that her mom dropped Evelyn off at a church, and Evelyn was going to be adopted, and her mom saying her mom stated that she was an unfit mother, and she was going to get Evelyn back. Well, if you look at it, I mean seriously, if you look at it, she was living in a rundown mobile home, and she did take pictures, and yes, it was run down. It wasn't clean. Um, Evelyn, baby Evelyn, had lice in her hair, and her hair was caked so bad and matted so bad you couldn't get a comb or a brush through it. And then this little girl lost her life to her mother. Sorry, had to deal with a misbehaving 9-year old. But yeah, I mean, you have, you know, Megan Boswell, who took her daughter's life, and it mirrored the Casey Anthony case to a T. She wrapped foil around this little baby's head, then wrapped a blanket uh, tied around her head, basically suffocating her, put her in a trash bag, and then shoved her down into a trash can. And she shoved her so hard the baby's back did a reverse S. And then she proceeded to start lying. She proceeded to start lying. But If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. While you're here, hit the subscribe button as well. This is Robert with True Crime Unraveled. You all have a good Sunday and a good President's Day. Peace.